gingerbread you will need the following ingredients: some ground sugar, some baking powder, some margarine or butter, some plain flour and caster sugar. You'll need 1 egg and some honey or golden syrup. I'm using the leftover mixture from my practice run of the recipe because I had a lot left over, and I'll leave the recipe in the description. Because I had a lot left over, I've got enough to make the Christmas tree as well, so I'll put the recommended amounts of each in the description. I'm using the following templates that are from the recipe website, and I'm just cutting them out to be able to use them kind of like cookie cutters to make the gingerbread houses. To make one gingerbread house, you need 2 of each templates, so that's 6 pieces of gingerbread, 2 front pieces, 2 walls and 2 roof pieces. Having preheated the oven to gas mark 5, sprinkle some flour on the surface just so that the dough doesn't stick to whatever surface you're using. And I've separated the dough into 2, one for the mug houses and one for the Christmas trees, and the ones for the Christmas trees I've just put in the cling film. Okay, then you want to just roll the dough and make sure that you roll it out quite thin so that the gingerbread houses will actually fit on the mugs. Then you want to use the templates and a knife to cut out the parts of the gingerbread houses. Make as many of each template as you like, as long as there is an even and equal number of each. You don't have to use all the mixture as leftovers can be used to make the gingerbread cookies or just other gingerbread sweets and treats. Done cutting them all out, put them onto a greased baking tray, and then you can bake them in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. Mine went over that a little bit, so be careful with it. Okay, we're using royal icing to ice these, so you need some peppermint or other flavouring, icing sugar and an egg white. So essentially all you need to do is beat the egg white into the icing sugar and then just add peppermint or whatever other flavouring of your choice to make it taste a little bit nicer, and then it should come out in peaks. Okay, so to put the houses together, you want to put the icing on opposite ends of a wall piece and stick either end of these two front pieces, so that's the ones that have the little door. And then when you've done that, you also want to put icing on opposite ends of the other wall piece and squidge that into the other side of the house. And then you want to make sure that that has time to dry completely first before you put the roof on, because otherwise it will all collapse. Then you can put the roof on, so you just want to put icing all along the edges of the actual house, and then put a piece of the roof along the side, and then you also want to put a bit of icing on just down the middle of the roof for decoration, and also just to keep them together. You can add any other icing anywhere on there as well if you want for decoration. Then to make the gingerbread Christmas trees, again you want to roll out all of the dough fairly thin and cut out lots of different stars in different sizes. So I've gone for 3 different sizes and cut out a roughly equal amount of each size until all the mixture is used up. I had quite a lot of mixture, so I had quite a lot of biscuits, but that's okay because any that you don't use you can just eat as regular biscuits and have for decoration. On a greased baking tray and put them in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes, and you can put each thing on the tray fairly close together because they don't expand or puff up very much, so you can put them quite close together as long as they're not touching. Christmas tree itself, you want to put the biggest stars at the bottom and then just put a little blob of icing in the middle of those stars. Then you want to put another star of the same size on top of it but at an opposite angle, and just keep on stacking them in that way by adding icing, then adding a cookie. I put about 4 or 5 of each size on each tree, but it depends on how big your tree is and how big each cookie is for you. But what I would recommend doing is waiting for it to dry between each size that you use before putting on a different sized star. So before you put on the smaller size, wait for that lot to dry first, because otherwise you'll find that it'll slide and it's really difficult to do. as you're putting smaller and smaller ones up as you go, it should start to resemble a Christmas tree. And at the end I put a little bit of icing on the top just for decoration. And then because I had quite a lot of stars left over at the end, I put mine all around the Christmas trees for decoration, but you could just eat them or make another Christmas tree if you really wanted. And then lastly I sprinkled the whole thing with icing sugar for decoration. And that's it. Put the tree houses on the edges of your mugs with a nice cup of hot chocolate and enjoy. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe if you're new as well. Have a very Merry Christmas and I will see you in my next video. Bye!